Adam Lincoln over here, I'm in a tiny chair, so that's why Ryan really.
I'm not this big.
Yeah, Ryan is not a giant. So I'm going to introduce you to Ryan here. He's been a friend of mine for, wow, how long now?
Probably, 15 years?
15 years now. We went to high school together, knew each other in middle school, went to high school together, went to college together at Clemson, and we were roommates at Clemson, and Ryan was actually my nutritionist while I was at Clemson. He was teaching me about my horrific diet and how to fix it. And
as Adam's roommate, I had firsthand knowledge of how bad his diet was, and told him if he wanted to go from conference champion to All-American, that maybe we could make a few changes.
And he took me from my diet alone with Ryan's help took me from a 7', 7'1" high jumper to a 7'3", 7'4", 7'5" jumper. And, that was the difference between Olympic qualifying and not. So it was a really, really, really big deal, and it made a huge difference in my life by just these diet changes. So I have Ryan here. I had to introduce him to you and let you get to know him because he can really help you out. And that's important to me. I want him to be able to help you out, and I want to link you guys together. So I'm going to look up to you, and I guess maybe just tell a little about yourself, who you are, what your background, and why you can help them, and then I've got some questions for you.
All right, absolutely. Like Adam said, I'm Ryan Muncie. We've known each other for quite some time now. Grew up together back in Virginia. That's where we are now. And when we were at Clemson, I got into lifting weights and nutrition, changed my major, finished with a dietetics degree in food science and human nutrition. So, not only is nutrition my passion, but I'm, formally educated in it, and feel like I'm quite knowledgeable on it. After school, I got into a little bit of bodybuilding and fitness modeling, spent some time in New York City as a model. Got into personal training, came back here, been doing some personal training and nutrition consultations here. And we're going to go see what we can do with you guys online. And, like he said, any kinds of questions that you guys have, anything that we can help you with. I've worked with athletes. Adam wasn't the only person I worked with at Clemson, so D1 athletes, professional athletes. In my time as a trainer and nutritionist, I've helped regular, plain everyday people lose over 100 pounds in a year's time period. Helped athletes, bodybuilders get on stage, get ready for a competition. So if you're a bikini, fitness, figure, or a bodybuilder, we can get you down to whatever weight or body fat percentage that you're desired to get on stage. I've competed in that myself, so very familiar with how that goes. As a fitness model, I had to be photo ready day in and day out when I was in New York, so I know what it's like to get down to that level of leanness as well as maintaining it. Power lifters, strongmen, if you're trying to, even Olympic weightlifters, if you're trying to maintain or maximize your strength while staying in a certain weight class, wrestlers, boxers, anybody like that. So this is for everybody.
Yeah, and now for the most of the people on my channel, the athletes, you can really help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said with Adam, there's a huge difference between being a 7', 7'1" high jumper and 7'5". You were an amazing athlete at 7', 7'1", but like you said, once you started clearing 7'5", you're talking about Olympic qualifier.
Absolutely.
That is elite level, world class athlete. That's a small change, and even techniques and stuff that you're helping with. Those at that level, every single change that you make results in huge differences.
Absolutely.
7'4", 7'5" is only 3 inches higher than 7'1", 7'2", but the results are,
you're going from top 5,000, 3 to 5,000 in the world to top 20.
Exactly, and let's look at a bodybuilder. Let's say you get on stage, you can get down to 6% on your own. Well, what if I told you I could get you down to 3% body fat? You're looking at maybe top 5, top 10 in your weight class. to maybe placing top 3 and progressing from a regional show to a state level or a national level qualifying show, and maybe earning your pro card and starting to make some money at your hobby or your passion.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess now for my athletes now, like you have a background in personal training athletes in general. So I'm not just going to leave this to nutrition only. If you could give 3 tips to these guys, well, I'm going to make you give 3 tips to these guys about what they need to do to become a better athlete as quickly as possible, what would they be?
Okay. Well, since I don't have to keep them all at nutrition, I'll cover 3 bases. One's going to be training, 2 is going to be recovery, and 3 will be your diet. So we'll start with number 1, the training. If you're not training properly, if you're not training to be strong and explosive, then you'll never be the athlete that you want to be. Forget the bodybuilder training, what you read in Muscle and Fitness or Flex. If you're an athlete, that's not going to work for you. Even if you're a bodybuilder, if you're natural, training that way is really not going to work for you. So we will take care of all your training stuff. And to use another example, if you're not training properly, if you're not maximizing the muscle that you have or maximizing your body, then maybe you're a great athlete and you're a good player and you might wind up playing at a D2, D3 school. But if you gain 10, 20 pounds of muscle, shave 2 to 3/10 of a second off your 40 time, take your vertical from 30 to 37, 38, 40 inches, then you're looking at a D1 scholarship. And trust me, that scholarship pays off many times over in what you save and what you experience by playing at a D1 school instead of D2 or D3. So you got to get that training nailed. Big, complex movements, hitting all those major muscle groups. We talked about this earlier, snatches, cleans,
Absolutely.
deadlifts, squats. There's no need to be doing cable crossovers trying to get striations in your pecs. Unless you're a bodybuilder, then we'll talk about that later. But since we're talking mostly to athletes, forget about all those beach muscles for now.
That's right.
And so we'll go number 2 would be rest and recovery. Once you get your training down, you have to be able to rest and recover from that. Otherwise, you won't get the benefits of that training. When you're training, you're tearing your body down, and if it doesn't get the chance to build itself back up better, then you'll never progress, you'll never get stronger.
And this is 95% of you guys too. You always tell me that and you always hear from your parents and coaches, you need to be in the gym, you need to be doing this, doing that. I've talked to kids that are playing 5 hours of basketball. I'm not even joking here. 5 hours of basketball every single day.
Yeah.
And they're hitting a weight room and they're wondering why they're not getting results.
Yeah. In order to gain weight or gain muscle, you've got to eat more calories than you burn. So that's going to get into number 3. We'll hold off on that for just a second until we finish with rest and recovery. But we're looking at a minimum of 7, possibly 8, 9 hours of sleep every night. The hours before midnight are even better than the hours after midnight. So if you're one of those people that goes to bed at 1 and sleeps till 9 or 10 in the morning, don't do that. Especially if you're still in high school. If you have to get up early in the morning to go to school, get your butt in bed. There's really nothing great going on at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I know it's hard to believe that, but there really isn't.
Facebook is not that cool.
It'll still be there tomorrow.
Right.
Go to bed, get your rest, and wake up feeling better. If you're not giving your body the chance to recover and recuperate at night when you rest, then you'll never maximize your potential. And then we'll talk about nutrition now. If you're not eating the proper foods to fuel what you're doing, you won't perform at your peak, and then you won't be able to recover from it. So, the more we talk about diet, the more you guys are going to know that I recommend a lot of quality whole foods. I don't like processed foods. I don't like man-made foods. I want you eating things that were around and accessible to mankind 500, 1,000 years ago. Animal flesh, eggs, any kind of meat, fish, fowl, anything that you could pick, hunt, or gather. So we're talking about fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, berries, all that good stuff. Forget about the donuts and cookies and crackers, all that processed stuff. That's what we want to avoid.
Exactly. Yeah. That alone right there is just such. I mean, it's so simple, but it's just great information. So, guys, rewind and listen to that again. Write it down. Make a list of what Ryan just told you, because that's so valuable right there in itself. And especially for me firsthand, I learned that I thought I was a 7'1" high jumper, and I thought I was pretty damn good.
Right.
I had no idea I was actually a 7'5" high jumper.
Right. And you know, you made the comment to me, this was a long time ago back at Clemson, but you know, it had been about a week after you started eating some of the stuff I was trying to get you to eat. And it's not so much what the food does for you. Yes, it's really good for you, and yes, you'll feel better for eating it, but it's what's not in your body. When you're eating all those preservatives and chemicals and man-made things, your body is fighting that, and it's so busy fighting that it's not functioning optimally. Mm-hmm. And once you rid your system of all that stuff, you run like a well-oiled machine. You know, imagine that you walk through the forest, and I want you to imagine two different water sources. One is a pond that's been sitting there untouched, and it's full of scum. There's nothing coming in, there's nothing going out. It's just stagnant, stale water, all kinds of algae and scum, and you know, that's not something that you would want to drink, and it's not something that you want in your body. But now you're going to imagine a glacial stream of just ice cold water that's just pure and flowing. The ice caps are melting and the water's just coming down. Think about how pure and clear and crystal just perfect that water is. Now imagine that in your body versus that stale, scummy water. And that's when it becomes really easy to see how well your body is performing. And then, you know, you got out there on the high jump pit and you could just feel an extra spring in your step, and you know, with that little bit of extra muscle that you could gain and the less body fat that you're carrying, gained a couple inches.
Changing my diet increased my vertical. That's what it comes down to. It made me a better athlete.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, right? I mean, we want to be the best athletes we can be. Don't hinder yourself by eating junk.
Right.
It's simple. It's easy, an easy fix. Everyone, you know, you write and you ask me questions about weightlifting, about plyometrics, but no, it's rare that someone asks me about a diet fix to increase their vertical. They're just not considering that whole realm, and it's such a big area that can be easily fixed.
Right. The proper diet will improve every aspect of your performance, and that's just what jumping is. Jumping is the ultimate expression of power.
Absolutely. All right, now this video has been going for a while. So number one, I want to say that I was thinking while you were talking, I said that the 7 foot, there's 3,000 or 4,000 7-foot high jumpers. That's definitely not the case. So
right.
Maybe 300 or 400, I think, would be a better. So yeah, don't quote me on that one. But secondly, we've got kind of a surprise for you, something really cool. Like right here, I'm putting a link to Ryan's YouTube page. We just started it. We just opened it up. He's going to be putting free video after free video. So go here right now and subscribe. And the best part about subscribing to Ryan's page is any nutritional or training specific questions that you have, Ryan's going to take them and personally answer them.
Yeah, that's right.
So you have a nutritionist for free at your disposal that has put so much of just knowledge and hard work and effort behind making athletes better, and he knows this stuff and he wants to help you. So go now, subscribe. You have a welcome video over there now. So you'll see the video. You can message him questions. You can comment questions, and he'll get right back at you. You're gonna see a lot of great stuff coming from Ryan, and as always, good stuff coming from me. Hopefully you're enjoying it. So thanks
guys.